there's this calling. I feel like so many people are being called and also being shown to step away from the comfort, step away from the situations that you've been in that have brought you a sense of security and comfort, and you liked them for a while. That's great. But the universe is showing you the truth of these situations and these people. And it's there to push you to finally take that risk and make an investment in yourself, in something that you want to do, no matter if people understand it or not. Hey y'all, welcome to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves because you are the one that you're looking for. And today we're here to talk about Cancer season. Cancer season 2022 will be starting on June 21st, and that makes Cancer our cardinal water sign because it coincides with the beginning of summer in the northern hemisphere and the beginning of winter in the southern hemisphere. Cancer is also our youngest water sign, and I like to think of them as our like pastel goth. I was channeling our Cancer pastel goth ways, and then sometimes they're Sour Patch Kids, where first they're sour and then they're sweet. They're represented by the crab in astrology, so that makes them hard on the outside and gushy on the inside. They tend to look at the world with childlike wonder and imagination, and Cancer season really wants to bring us like closer to our inner child. It wants to give us a little bit more, I want to say hope. I said wonder. It's after the chaos of Gemini season. Gemini season kind of opens up our possibilities and our views, and so Cancer then can help us integrate those and look at the world in new and exciting creative ways as a result of what we experienced in Gemini season. A few highlights of Cancer season: it is beginning at the end of June, so in a lot of places we are closing out Pride Month. We do have the Cancer new moon at the end of the month. This is all according to Western astrology. And then we will have the Capricorn full moon July 13th, and Cancer season goes until the 22nd of July. Technically, the sun will cross from Cancer into Leo around 2 o'clock Mountain Time on the 22nd. So we are talking today about the Chariot card because the Chariot card represents Cancer in the tarot. The Chariot card is all about paths of your heart, paths of your passion. It's where is your heart leading you is really what comes up for me, especially when the Chariot card comes forward. I had a hard time connecting with the Chariot card for a while when I was really studying tarot in the beginning. And what helped me was I actually went on a meditation journey through the major arcana, which I should do again because it was really cool. And if you're wanting to learn tarot, I recommend that you seek something out like that. Mine, I did through Biddy Tarot. And I cannot remember the gal. There was another gal that was adjacent to Biddy Tarot that wrote this meditation. And you visualize being the Fool. You step into the Fool's position because the Fool represents all of us, and then you move through the tarot. And when I got to the Chariot, because the Chariot is, I think, right after the Strength card. Or just before the Strength card. Duh, because Strength Leo. So Chariot's just after the Lovers card, which you can go see the Lovers card reading for Gemini season right now also. I got them backwards. So when I approached the Chariot, he actually took out it was almost, you know what it reminds me of now? Like, look, now that I'm talking about it, is the Tin Man's heart. in The Wizard of Oz. And I mean, look at this, the soldier on here, he's covered in 10, and I think that probably is a good representation of a lot of cancers, where they try to act really tough and unfeeling, and they really are some of the most empathetic feeling people out there. And so it was like he took it out from behind his chest plate and gave it to me, this heart. It was kind of like, and I think the Tin Man's heart was like a clock on like a chain, and it was kind of like that, where it was like, well, where are you going, Chariot? And it's like, wherever my heart leads me, this is where I'm going. What kind of time are you on? I'm on my heart's time. And I think that even connects deeper to your soul time, where you are in your journey, where you are in your soul journey. This is about also being open to journeying, to expanding outside of your comfort zone. The Chariot is movable and also moves around with a version of its home on its back, like the crab, you know. And I saw another tarot card for the Chariot. Oh, and now I can't remember what deck it was, where it was like a witch on a broom was the Chariot. I don't know why I remember that. So being like on the move, but also just being open to different experiences. You can only experience so much from your home. And I understand we're in a pandemic. It's been difficult to travel. But even then, we have so much access to the internet and to, you know, all kinds of streaming services. There's all kinds of education out there now that's just accessible at our fingertips. And so there's an openness that comes with this, and a heart openness that comes with this energy. And remembering too that you can always return home also, and also that home is where the heart is, as cheesy as that sounds. But remembering too that there's, you know, most of the time you have a choice of where you're going. See how the Sphinx that there is leading the Chariot, one is black, one is white, represents our light and our shadow, and that you have to have both. You cannot have dark without light. You cannot have light without dark. And Cancer is a good mix of that, thus the pastel goth look. We all have darkness and light in us. No one is just good, and no one is just evil. How many times do we see people that we revere as being such good and pure hearts, and then there's skeletons in their closet. There's skeletons in everybody's closet. And so the more we embrace that in those certain bits of darkness, the more we're honest about it, then maybe it wouldn't be so shocking when things came out, and maybe we wouldn't worship certain people in a way that's really not serving us in the long run. Cool. I am excited for this reading. Let's get into it. I'll be using the Modern Witch Tarot. Ironically, this is not the deck that has the witch on the broom. Look at the Chariot. I think she's on a motorcycle in this one, which is pretty freaking cool too. And then we will be pulling from the Shaman's Dream Oracle by Alberto Violdo and Colette Baron Reed. So the Chariot card I just showed you is from a traditional Smith-Waite deck. I just like you to see what the traditional card looks like, because that's where the story lies in. If you're beginning to read tarot, I highly recommend you just get a traditional deck. It's much easier to connect to the stories of the card, and then you can easily move on to other decks. So you can do this reading at home too, and you can always modify it to however you feel is right for you. So if you've watched some of the other astrology season readings, then you've seen how I do this. Ooh, oh, the Judgment card wanted to come out just then. Let's see if that comes up. I feel like they're like, okay, then let's take it easy on the shuffling. Oh, look at that. Ended up on the bottom. So I think that's a good place to stop. So a lot of people will turn their deck over and still consider this the bottom and this the top. For me, it's just easier for me to introvert it. That might be because I have ADHD, but it's whatever feels good to you, okay? And we'll look at what judgment has to do with what we're reading, which, now that I'm saying that, the Judgment card is very similar to the Chariot in being like on a path of purpose. It's kind of like the Chariot is leading you to this place, to your path, that following your heart leads you to your path of purpose. Much more excited about this reading than last season. I don't know, Gemini season's always kind of a little scary. And also, I'm a water sign, so water seasons, I feel like water signs enjoy water seasons so much more than everybody else. Just like most air signs probably usually have a better Gemini season than a lot of people. It's because I could always use a good cry. I like a good cry. There's a Tegan and Sarah song about liking to cry. Let me know if you know what it is. Okay, here we go. So then you shuffle through your cards until you find the major arcana card that you're looking for, and you can do this with all of them, and it changes the reading a little bit and gives you a little bit of different insight. And so for this, we're seeing what Cancer season is bringing for us. So we'll split the deck here, and there's our new top and then our new bottom, and we'll look at this card also. This is becoming already very interesting. There's more Temperance as this card. It's the same angel wings on these cards, so we're already getting a lot of synchronicities, which is a good sign. Okay, so here is our very cool Modern Witch Chariot card. Badass. King of the road, born to be wild, you know? I got my shit, I got my magic, I got my attitude, and we're hitting the road and we're embracing what's coming to us. So on top of that is the Knight of Wands in reverse. So the reason why you can change these up is that because your guides know what your intention is. They know what you're doing. So it's okay that it's different. The layout's different for me than other people or for you. It's going to work for you the way that you want it to work. And behind our Chariot is the Star card. Lots of major arcana already coming up. So on top of the Chariot is I feel like is where the hesitation of embracing this energy is coming from. It's very much like questioning your capability, questioning whether you should or you could. It's all of those preconceived notions and limiting beliefs and societal norms that have been projected on you that is getting in your way of embracing this very freeing energy. The Chariot is a very freeing energy. It kind of, even though I'm getting like a Sagittarius vibe too, which is the Temperance card, interestingly enough, it's that freedom. It's the you can't hold me down. I'm gonna go where I need to go. I'm gonna go where I want to go. I think it's more important that you go where you want to go rather than where you need to go. And yes, sometimes we get called to things, and this is a need, as in like my heart and soul will die if I don't do it. Not like I need to go because so-and-so said I did, or because this is attached to a job I hate, or because, this is attached to a person I hate. Like, so-and-so needs me to go to their birthday, even though there's going to be people there that are going to mess with my peace and quiet. It's like, no, not that. Don't go to that. This is a need on a heart and soul level. And I want this night to be flipped over for you, because then you would be more fired up and you would see that this is the right time and this is the right thing for you. There would be no question that you are capable of doing this, and you are capable of seeing this through and capable of pursuing this. It feels like there's been a lot of revelations that have come to light in the last, at least in last season. Like, so much has happened in the last month, especially between the Scorpio full moon eclipse and the recent Sagittarius full moon, and we were just coming out of eclipse and retrograde season. So it was a lot of stuff has happened in the last 2 to 3 months. And there's revelations that have come from that. And people are seeing more of the truth of situations. It's been really cool where all of a sudden it's like, wait a second, this is a really toxic situation. You're really manipulative. Like, what am I doing here? I don't need to be here. Like, time to update the resume. And so there's this calling. I feel like so many people are being called and also being shown to step away from the comfort, step away from the situations that you've been in that have brought you a sense of security and comfort, and you liked them for a while. That's great. But the universe is showing you the truth of these situations and these people. And it's there to push you to finally take that risk and make an investment in yourself, in something that you want to do, no matter if people understand it or not. There's always going to be naysayers. There's always going to be someone saying, well, I don't know, this is a really good job, or I don't know, aren't you a little, maybe you should stay married to that horrible person because you're getting old, and what if you don't find anybody? Like, stop listening to that. Stop listening to these people around you who are just like feeding the negative thoughts, are like helping you to put yourself down. No, that is not what is needed right now. What is needed is for you to be confident and to believe in yourself and to figure out how to get that negative self-talk also to take it easy. I saw a trending reel today. I know it's trending because I saw 2 people do it, and I thought about doing one, and it was women saying, you know, I talk really badly to myself sometimes, and then I realize that I'm talking to her too. And this can also work for, I'm not saying just women, but it's more prevalent in marginalized groups. When marginalized people have been told that they can't do things for millennia, that then they remember that I'm talking badly to the tiny person inside, that child, that inner child that I was saying is connected to Cancer season. And then there's pictures of them as like little adorable babies. And it just resonated with me so much, because I had a friend even send me found a picture recently of me in 8th grade, and you can actually kind of see my braces. It's kind of blurry, but I'm like, oh, I can tell that I have my braces on. And I never smiled when I had braces on. I had this like cool tank top with a motorcycle on it, and like this bright yellow hoodie that I thought was so cool. And I look so adorable. And I just remember that time in my life and being so smothered down, like tamped down, stifled by society already at 13, and just questioning like my validity, my value. And I look at her now and I'm just like, you are so adorable. And I bet you were so fun and weird and in the best ways. But so many things were said to me from outside sources, from a lot of sources that didn't even know me, and I think this happens to a lot of people, especially people from marginalized communities, that it starts, and especially women, and especially queer folks, that we're told from a very young age in so many different ways that you are not supposed to be this thing. And so it comes out in adulthood when we're trying to finally make a move for our own self, that it's been so ingrained in us that half the time we don't even need a bunch of people saying it around us. It's all going on inside. And then one person says something that's similar to your head and you're just like, well, that's it. It's true. That just confirmed it. That just confirmed all of my negative self-talk. Okay? Stop. Like, and if you need help to stop, please reach out to me. That's exactly the part of my coaching, is that we figure out how to get you to stop being your worst enemy and get you to be your best cheerleader. You deserve more. The little person inside of you that was just, whose little bright light was snuffed out, deserves more. And now you're an adult and you get to make the moves and stand up for that little, I wanted to say like little guy, little girl, little one, that little one. That little, see, it's taking a lot for all of us to deprogram. And you, that little one deserves for you to do everything that you can to protect them and to make yourself happy. Okay? Because we're trying to be aligned. There's temperance. So let's not get into temperance. The star is another great card that goes along with the Chariot and Judgment. The Judgment comes, or I'm sorry, the Star is a couple cards before Judgment. The Star is also Aquarius. And the Star is about being connected, having a reconnection with these things that used to light us up. Another story, because you know I like story time, because I'm not like, look at me. I'm trying to give you examples so that you can pinpoint these things in your life. So I realized recently that before I was that 13-year-old girl who was so insecure and didn't know how to act or think or be half the time, I was, 6, 7, 8 years old, and anytime there was a camera out, I was my loud, dramatic, sassy self in front of that camera, putting music on, dancing, singing. I used to wear like Looney Tunes shorts and like shoes that kind of looked like tap shoes every now and then. And I need to find these videos. I need to help my mom go through our stuff, because I realized like I need to be that little girl again. I need to be unafraid of being who I am, because I know logically that it's okay if people don't like it. But I've also been conditioned to be a people pleaser. So our guides in the universe right now are really pushing us to step out of these paradigms, to step out of the conditioning, to look back at those moments in our childhood that made such impact on us and made us hide who we are. You do not need to hide who you are. Hiding who you are will attract the wrong people in your life. It's hard because it will show you who's not really there for you, who's not really for you, who's not really your friend, who's not really your family. But it frees up space, and not necessarily space that needs to be filled. That's also been a message recently. Do not automatically fill that space, because you need that space to be you. It's like opening up the space so that you can really truly be yourself. And then you can start to, again, find new people that are gonna love you for you, and figure out how you need to do it for you. What do you want your relationships to look like? What works better for you? Do you want a group of friends, or do you want like individual friends that you go do different things with? I realized recently, after learning about my ADHD, that I'm not a big group person. Like intimate groups, when I was younger, love a house party, sweet, if I can dance. It's like either I want to be dancing with a bunch of people that I don't have to talk to, or I want to be with a few people that I love to talk to, or just 1 to 2 people. And that's just me. You need to figure out how these relationships are going to reflect for you and how your relationship with yourself involves your relationship with your inner children. At these moments in your life that were so significant that you need to, it's like atoning for your inner child, but not because you did something to them, but because the world did something to them. And now you are here to take care of them and help them heal, which will help you heal. Okay? The other thing too that's been coming up lately, which I feel like is connected to the star, is that having a human experience does not mean that you should always be doing the work and always be healing and always be connecting and always being these things. We're also just supposed to be living life. There's a purpose of being here that is just to live it. Okay? And even if that means sitting on the TV, sitting down in your couch watching TV sometimes, it's okay. Even in the real world, there's a bunch of, I don't mean the real world, I mean the first reality show ever, The Real World. I'm showing my age. Even in those shows where it looks like, oh, there's all this exciting stuff going on all the time, if you ever watched any like behind the scenes interviews, anything, any of those people will be like, there is so much footage of us just hanging out, sleeping, watching TV, waiting for a phone call. They don't show that part though, because no one wants to watch that. You don't want to sit on your TV, on your couch watching TV, watching somebody on their couch watching TV. So remember that. This is not a time to compare also. Do not compare your lowest moments to what people are posting on Instagram. I need that advice all the time. So then we have the temperance. We have the temperance. So then we have, oh, did I not? I don't think I showed you. Did I show you the star? So there's like a renewal, a rebirth energy that comes with the star also. So there's something about like healing the past, renewing with yourself and who you are now. Let me know what's coming up for you. Please be sure to share in the comments. I always love to hear what's resonating and how it's resonating with you. And then, so then we had Temperance was the very next card. Temperance in reverse. So I think taking this kind of leap, this risk, this trust of these steps that are more heart aligned, there can be some fear there. There can be fear that it's going to just like turn your world upside down. But we have to remember that Judgment is at the bottom. And bottom of the deck for me is like the core of the situation or where you're heading. And you are heading on the right path. The biggest advice is that you need to trust your path and trust your heart and what your heart is telling you. If you take away one thing from this, it's that you need to trust what your heart is telling you, not what society, your parents, some of your friends, some of your coworkers, your boss, all these people who actually have ulterior motives for you, all these people who are also projecting their own fear of failure on you. You are being guided to take this leap, to trust that this is the right step forward, to keep going, to like keep on keeping on. A lot of heart and soul connection. Super, I know it sounds cheesy, but it's not just like this, it's all love and light. There's a lot of shadow work in here too, especially when you're working with your inner child and past traumas and pain. But it's gonna be worth it. This is the other thing that's been coming up too, is when it's like, oh, but it feels too hard. You have to remember that it's temporary pain for long-term gain. Okay? It's deep. These readings just keep getting deeper and deeper. Let's consult our oracle. Make sure you go watch your tarotscopes. You can watch for your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign. The air signs and fire signs are up. I'm working on the Cancer. Cancer is the one I'm working on right now. I'm working on water and earth signs. They're recorded. I'm just editing them to get them out. I think this is going to be a really good one. The Sky Bridge. Possibility for union. Sky Bridge. Possibility of union for you and your path of purpose, or your path of spark, or your path of love, or your path of joy, or your path of pleasure. Your reason doesn't have to be big and convoluted. It can be simple too. There's nothing wrong or selfish about your reasonings just being to find joy. 47, Sky Bridge. Possibility for union. What needs to be connected or disconnected. You stand before a seemingly unbreachable abyss, and there is no possibility of retreat. The path behind you is no longer a viable option. You have to act soon, though, or you run the risk of being stuck at the edge of the cliff. Life has brought you to this moment to offer you as yet undreamt of possibilities. But you must no longer postpone what you know to be inevitable. And yes, you are allowed a breath or two before the leap, so take a bit of time to yourself. Get away for a day or two of contemplation, or even for just a few minutes walk to clear your head. Muster your courage so that you may cross the Sky Bridge. Sky Bridge appears when the moment is absolutely right for a quantum leap. Life believes you are ready, even if you do not agree. Remember not to confuse your true state of readiness with your plans and preparation. Respond with a determined yes, and let the universe take care of the details. You need only hold on to your positive affirmation, and the way will become obvious as you take flight and clear the abyss. See? Confirmation. Now is the time to take the risk. Take the leap and trust that you are being supported in all the right ways. Even if it seems scary, even if it seems like you're going to fail, there is a purpose. That's what they're showing us too with these, is that there is a purpose to what is happening for you. And that purpose might not be clear right now. It might not be clear in a week. It might not be clear in this lifetime. But if you would like some more pinpoint help to figure out how this is showing up for you, to craft some great positive affirmations to keep you focused, I'm always available for one-on-one sessions and long-term one-on-one coaching. All my links are attached. You can also now become a patron. You can join my Patreon for just $2 a month for support, or for $4 a month, I will start releasing all the readings, I will be releasing the all signs readings to start as podcast versions, so you can listen to them whenever it's good for you. Thank you so much for being here. I hope that this gave you some sort of insight, comfort, or validation about where you are right now. Please let me know what resonated with you, or if you have any questions. Thank you again. And please be sure to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.